Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. My name's Stephanie and today I am so excited to share another Nailpollies collection. This one is perfect for Thanksgiving and it's called Feast Your Eyes. It is a super cute little quad that features some creams, some flaky crellies, and even a new jelly type of polish, all with these little caps inspired by Thanksgiving sides, and they are just absolutely adorable. So without further ado, let's just get into the swatches. The first polish we have is Let's Get Ready to Crumble, and this is described as a honey cinnamon butter inspired crelly with light cinnamon shimmer and golden honey flakes. And the cap for this is this adorable little bread roll, just so cute. So the formula on this one, as described, was a crelly, so it kind of is a little bit sheer on the first coat, but still pretty even coverage for the most part. I didn't have that many light spots or streaks. And there is a ton of shimmer and flakies in here, so I did really love that little subtle effect, especially against this neutral sort of base color. I find it to be really flattering. So I personally found this one to build up nicely on two coats, where I would call it opaque enough for me. In some angles, I could see a little hint of nail line, but I just don't think it's necessary to do a third coat, and I think most people can get away with just two. Overall, I thought this was really pretty. Next up, we have You're My Best Spud, and this is described as a tasty brown crelly filled with shifty, sparkly salt and golden butter flakes. I just cannot get over these polish descriptions. They are so cute. And the cap for this one is this super cute bowl of mashed potatoes with some gravy on top. They are just so cute. I can't. But onto the formula. This one is more of a true jelly crelly kind of formula, where it is very squishy and translucent on the first coat, but still very even coverage. Like you can see, I barely had any light spots, maybe at the very tip of my nail, but it was still easy enough to work with, and it self-leveled really nicely. So I think I would call this another two-coater for most people because it does build up very nicely on the second coat, but I think I could make out a hint of nail line in some angles. So again, it depends on your preference, your application, your nail length, but I think most people can get away with two. I think this is another super flattering shade. You know I love gold flakies, but even though this is described as a brown, it definitely has a bit of an orange leaning tone to it. The next shade is I've Been Thinking About You, and this is a solid green bean cream inspired by green bean casserole, which is obviously what the little cap is inspired by. So stinking cute. So this one had an absolutely flawless, buttery, creamy kind of formula. It was super opaque on the first coat. I just had a little bit of like streaks on the left side of my nail. So it wasn't quite a one coater, but almost there. Like maybe if you did a little bit of a thicker coat, you might be able to get away with it. But yeah, this is a solid two coater, absolutely gorgeous color. I loved this one. It's definitely looking a little bit bright here though, but I promise this is one of those gorgeous, dusty fall greens. It is so pretty. And rounding out the collection is I Cran-berrily Believe It, and this is a cranberry jelly inspired polish with a little cap that's supposed to be, I'm assuming, a bowl of cranberry sauce. I've actually never had that before, so I don't know what that's like, but I was definitely the most excited about this shade. I just love these sort of shades for the fall, and I was especially excited that this one was a jelly because, as you know, I am a big fan of jelly polishes. And I was really impressed with this one. It had such a lovely formula, super smooth to apply, it self-levels really well, and was really highly pigmented too. So on the first coat alone, it wasn't incredibly sheer. I feel like you could wear this in one coat or just use it as like a topper over a glitter polish for that juicy jelly look. but I do think it looks really great when it is layered in 2 or 3 coats. Again, this one is picking up a little bit brighter, almost like a hot pink or something, but it does have this deep cranberry type of color that is so perfect for the fall season. And it does deepen in color the more coats that you do, but I don't think it's necessary to do more than 3 coats. But this one is so gorgeous. I definitely think it's my favorite from the collection, and I will be wearing it next week. So here is the collection lineup. It does look a little bit dark here, but I did have to lower the exposure to kind of get it more color accurate. So hopefully you can see just how muted the green is or how deep that cranberry jelly is. They are just such perfect shades, especially for this holiday. So getting into comparisons, I don't have anything like Let's Get Ready to Crumble, but I thought it was kind of easy enough to recreate since it's just a nudish neutral base with a gold shimmer and a gold flaky. So I thought to use China Glaze's The Snuggle Is Real as my base, but as you can see, it's a little too dark and too warm to be that perfect match for Let's Get Ready to Crumble. And then having Cirque's Sunkissed and Nectar layered on top doesn't really have that same kind of soft effect. So this was kind of a fail. Then for You're My Best Spud, I had to see this next to We Were Meant to Be from Nailpollies because it's another brown crelly with golden flakies. It might be a little hard to tell in the bottle, but they are definitely very different on the nail. We Were Meant to Be is a little bit deeper with more of a reddish kind of base color, and the flakies are a bit more sparse and also a lot larger, or at least some of them are. So it's a little bit more uniform in You're My Best Spud. Next for I've Been Thinking About You, I wanted to show this next to Holo Taco's Matcha Maker, which was sadly retired earlier this year. This was mainly as like a color reference. Obviously, it's not going to be a dupe or anything close to it, but hopefully you can see how dusty I've Been Thinking About You actually is. So I thought maybe a kind of closer color comparison is Loud Lacquer's Belladonna, which is an absolute favorite of mine. I feel like they do have a similar kind of tone or maybe like level of saturation, but they are obviously very different hues of color. So definitely not dupes, but I definitely love them both. And of course, for I Cran-berrily Believe It, I had to see this next to Cirque Colors Bitten Jelly, which is a kind of similar berry jelly color, but I guess maybe Bitten Jelly is a little bit more on the magenta side, and it's also a little bit more sheer too. And by a little bit, I do mean a lot because it definitely looks a lot darker in the bottle, but I would say they end up getting to be around the same level of brightness, especially once you do 3 coats for both of them. So yeah, here they are in 1, 2, and 3 coats. So you'll have to let me know if you have a favorite between these. You guys know that I do love Bitten Jelly, but I think I Cran-berrily Believe It has become a new favorite. So that wraps up the Feast Your Eyes collection from Nailpollies. So hopefully you enjoyed these cuties as much as I did. I am so sorry that I am late with getting this video up because I think according to Nailpollies Instagram, yesterday or maybe the day before was the last day to order these to get them in time for Thanksgiving, which is just so crazy that it's already next week. While I am not a fan of the tradition of Thanksgiving and how it started, I definitely am a fan of practicing gratitude and of course food, so I still am looking forward to it. Ryan and I are actually hosting our first Thanksgiving. It's gonna be a little small, it's just his dad and his brother coming down, but I'm excited and nervous about it. So if you celebrate, feel free to share what your plans are gonna be. And also in the spirit of Thanksgiving and being grateful, I wanted to give a big thank you to all of you watching because I was like reflecting the other day on my channel, how far I've come, like my journey, you know, all of that stuff with social media. I had shared recently on my Instagram stories this old tutorial that I did from 3 years ago, and it was a voiceover tutorial, and it was for the same sunflower half moon design that I shared in my recent fall nail art video, but it was just so crazy to hear my voiceover from back then. It just instantly brought me back to where I was in my life, and oh my god, I feel like I'm gonna cry. It just was not a great place, and I'm just so so thankful that I am in a better place, not just mentally, but physically, where I'm able to fully like embrace my creativity and just feel more comfortable like expressing myself. Like YouTube is something I have always wanted to do. I feel like I've mentioned that a couple of times on my channel, but I just was unfortunately not in the right environment to do that. And so it's just crazy to think of myself 3 years ago and where I was and just how far I've come. Like I am just so incredibly thankful for everybody who's like watched my videos, obviously everybody who comments and actually like chats with me, because I love doing that so much. I just feel so incredibly lucky to be finally doing something that I have wanted to do for so many years, and it's just been such a fun journey, and I just can't thank you all enough for being here with me and for supporting me through all of this, because it just really means so much more than you all know. Maybe one day I will actually like divulge a lot more information so people can like understand, because I realize I've been pretty vague about, you know, a lot of my circumstances before, but I know the majority of you are here for the nail polish and I totally get that. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this video, even if it is a little bit late. If you did still want to pick up these shades or shop any other Nailpollies, like I did see they already have their next holiday collection up. Just as a reminder, I am an affiliate with them, so you can use my code to save off of your order at Nailpollies. I will also have the link in the description box if you do want to support me through that. I appreciate it so much. But yeah, I would love to know what you are grateful for this season, and let me know any and all thoughts you have down below so we can chat about it. But thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.